Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7. Now today, got some more Guild Wars for you guys. Now of course, before we begin, the joke of the day from Icarus. Telling corny dad jokes isn't my main gig, it's just a side job. Are you sure about that, Icarus? Because we've been doing these jokes in Guild Wars for years, and I love that he still, every single day for Guild Wars, can come up with a new one. It's great. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump into our first match. We're going to be fighting the first tower here, and they actually have a pretty nice team for us to showcase our ML Luna. Now, my ML Luna is by no means fast. I know if you're like early mid-game and you're looking at these stats like, oh my god, that's insane, a lot of people who are like around my rank in like RTA and stuff have way faster Lunas, 300, 310 speed easily, but this is honestly the best I can do. She needs to have immunity set, which is why she has 2 purple immunity pieces, but it really is a struggle on my end to get speed in general. This is my current build, and she's on Taga-Hell's Ancient Book, of course, so she can Soul Burn. I'm going to go ahead and Soul Burn and seal the Blood Moon Haste, the Senya, and the Ravi, just to make sure that they don't have their passives. This actually allows me to kill units like Ravi first, and I don't have to care about Blood Moon Haste proccing or ML Senya proccing, which is kind of nice. We're also going to be bringing in ML Politis here. So ML Politis is going to be on Unseen Observer. This does give me an extra 10 souls that I can use to Soul Burn Genoa with. Gives him the greater attack buff, and then he can pretty much just slice through everything. I want to just showcase this as the first team here, just to show you what like a really easy team is to make. Obviously, these are not easy units to get. There's 2 ML5s here, but I'm assuming a lot of you guys who really do care about the Guild War end of things and the arena end of things probably have these units laying around that you summoned for, because they're really strong, right? Genoa as well, just one of the best DPSs right now in the game. So I'll show you guys what that looks like in this, and then for the bottom team here we have Zio, Lilius, and Senya. Into this team I'm going to be playing a fairly standard team, a slower team. And so I am going to be bringing in Rowana. She's currently on Idol's Cheer because it doesn't really matter what artifact she is on. She's on Idol's Cheer for PvE content. I think the Ice Expedition is what I use her in, but it'll be fine. It'll just turn Cycle Bologna a lot quicker, which is nice. Crow is going to be here as well. I changed his build from a from a Revenge set into an actual speed set Crow, so he's looking pretty good. And I also have Lone Crescent Bologna. She's currently on Sacred Scythe, took that from my Fire Ravi just for this match right here, just to make sure she has optimal damage output and healing output, right? So let's go ahead and see how this plays out here. Yeah, his team's fairly slow, so these slower type of teams on defenses really just instantly die to ML Luna. You can seal them, even if they had something slower that can cleanse. If they rely on a passive to do that, then they're sealed, right? They can't do anything. Even something like Earth Selene on the other side, they can't proc, right? So we're going to go ahead and use ML Politis to push back the opponents. They get a speed down, and then we also have Genoa with his Rage. Rage actually gives you a bit of speed as well, so you should be able to cut a lot of players just with this setup. We could go for this Fire Ravi here. I think it's probably the best thing to go for. Ooh, he actually procs my Immortality, which not the best thing. Not the best thing here. You got really lucky with that counter, but we should be able to kill her, and Blood Moon Haste and the Senya can't proc or anything like that. So we do heal, we go into stealth, which is good. And Genoa is coming up quite quickly, actually, on my opponent. So I am going to go for the S2 onto the Senya, because the splash damage should make it so that Blood Moon Haste goes down to this S1, and then Genoa just finishes things off. So as you can see here, it is fairly easy to use a team like this. Oh my god, it's a Holy Sack. It's fairly easy to use a team like this into slower teams, even the bulkier teams that's out there. Ooh, okay. It's quite a bit of damage, but unfortunately not enough. So we'll finish things off here with the Genoa, and off to the next one. Yeah, ML Luna's solid against slower players. She's actually quite scary to go up against in RTA too when people first pick her. Alright, let's go for the Zio into my Crow, who should be the fastest unit here. Yeah, there we go. So he gets pushed back. I actually did want Crow to get hit, that's why I chose Rowana. She's a slower Soul Weaver on my end. Zio always attacks the fastest unit on your side, so when they hit the Crow, it's good for me, because now he gets low enough so he can S3 and deal a ton of damage. Krau's also just a good option here because when you're fighting against something like Senya, who's an Earth unit, Earth units are going to prioritize fighting Ice units on your team, so you can use him as an Ice bait. Alright, so we do get a little bit of a dual attack there from the Rowana, get a little bit of a barrier. I am going to go ahead and heal. I know Krau is low enough to use Horse, but I'm silenced, so I'm going to go ahead and heal with the Krau, and we'll be fine. Don't really care about the Lilius here. I could actually just go ahead and provoke the Lilius. There we go. Everyone attacking the Krau is actually good for me because I wanted to get lower. So he actually has quite a bit of defense right now. 1800 defense is pretty strong. That's why he's able to soak up these hits quite nicely. Okay, very nice. So now Krau is in range to do quite a bit of damage. I'm still blinded though, and I'm not a huge fan of the blind. However, I could just go for this. We'll let the Senya counterattack so Krau gets a little bit of healing. We'll let Rowana get hit as well, so that, again, Krau gets a little bit of healing. This is why Rowana's pretty decent to these teams. Alright, there we go. And Rowana, whenever they counterattack, Rowana pushes up my team as well. So now Krau gets to go, and I can probably honestly just finish off the Zeo here. Because Fire Lilius, whenever she attacks, much like how Senya will always attack Krau, Fire Lilius will always attack Rowana. So this gives me a pretty good chance at survival. Right, only Senya's going to attack Krau on her turn, but Senya's relatively slow here. Or, she's also dead. And yeah, Lilius is always going to attack Rowana, so we're good, we're good. Let's go ahead and just S3 into the Fire Lilius. I don't need to attack the Senya anymore, because Rowana or Krau can easily just tap her, and she's done for. There you go, easy peasy, and Rowana's going to come in for the finish. So there you guys go. Pretty straightforward little match here. Right, so you can play aggressively in Guild War, you can take down in Guild War, just distribute your gear accordingly. I know some people re-gear their units for every single match. I think it's a little excessive, but if you need to do it, do it. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and jump into our second match over here against the Center Tower, and it looks like it's been giving some of my guildmates a little bit of problems, but I don't think it'll be too bad here, seeing as the top team is a fairly standard team that we've seen across Guild War metas in the past. It's a Ron, Lilius, and Senya team. So this is a team I do like to bring into this comp. You can also substitute Destina for Rowana. In fact, I'm just going to go ahead and test out Rowana here, as I really haven't done this with the Rowana, but Destina is a good failsafe to be able to revive your team. Rowana is a good substitute to heal your team up to keep everybody alive. But this is my Christie that I'm using. She's on Bastion of Perlucia. That gives her immunity and the backline immunity as well, with a pretty thick barrier to boot. So she's going to be there to give effect resistance to my Arya. She gives half of her effect res to Arya here, and Arya will be dealing most of the damage. So we'll see how that works out. Rowana's still going to be on... Ooh, Rowana on Idol's Cheer, actually. I think I'll switch her here to something like Celestine. I think it'd be a little bit better just to keep healing upward for some of the other characters here. I think I have spare Celestines, actually. I should have... There we go. I should have swapped this before. But yeah, there we go. We'll have her on Celestine instead of Idol's Cheer, because I don't want to turn cycle Arya too much. I want to keep her counter buff up as long as possible. So Arya here is on Fairy Tale for a Nightmare. She's on Lifesteal and Resist set. She actually doesn't have that much crit damage. She has quite a bit of effect resistance though. The reason why you want Christie with effect res on the Arya is because in this team, if it's built properly, this Ron is going to be a full effectiveness Ron. Full effectiveness Ron that defense breaks your team. Fire Lilius comes in with an S3. She copies Senya's attack for her S3, and you build a full damage crit damage Lilius here. So when she S3s, it plows through your entire team, and everyone should technically die, and if not, Senya will just out-sustain and last your team. That's the reasoning behind this comp here, and it does work. It catches people off guard. But for the bottom team here, we're going to fight something very similar to what we just fought before. This time, instead of Fire Ravi, it's going to be a Genoa. So we're going to bring in the same opener, of course, ML Luna. If your opponent's slow, ML Luna, again, is a very good option, especially if your opponents all have passives. So we're going to use the same New Moon Luna here with Tagehal's Ancient Book, but this time, I'm going to show you guys what you can do with more aggro or cleave teams. I'm not an aggro or cleave player at all. I'm kind of lacking a lot of the units like ML Ludwig and stuff, but I do have traditional cleave units like Ida. Ida is actually great because her S3 allows you to push up your team's combat readiness by 20% if you use her S3, right? Now, when an ally uses a non-attack skill, she also pushes herself up by 20%. So when New Moon Luna goes ahead and does her S3, which is a non-attack skill, it pushes Ida up. She's about 230 speed, gains 20% combat readiness. She should be able to take the turn immediately afterwards, and she should be able to go ahead and soul burn her S2 into an S3. Now, whenever an opponent's hit by an AoE skill, Summertime Assyria, her passive procs, and she gets to gain 15% combat readiness for everybody on the team. So this will be a 35% CR push once Ida does her S3, and it'll turn cycle my team quite a bit. So Luna should be able to go again relatively quickly, and Summertime Assyria can also soul burn for free, so she doesn't need souls. So she can soul burn for free one time and then just detonate bombs, and we should be good. Everyone here should be stunned at the very least. But let's go ahead and jump into it and see what we can do. Quite excited because I haven't done a cleave team like this with Ida in a while. I actually kind of re-geared her, tweaked her gear a little bit. My Ida's not good by any means. She has way too much bulk. She needs a bit of effectiveness typically as well in PvP. But for Guild War purposes, it should work out just fine, especially because we have Assyria to back us up. Alright, this Ron, as you can see, not dealing a lot of damage here, but he also missed on Rowana, and both my units here are high res, so it might actually just be an effectiveness Ron. I don't know, but I'm not gonna dwell too long on that. Let's go ahead and just S3 with Arya. Fire Lilius is gonna go and see, she gives her crit damage buff with her artifact, and so now she's gonna come in with this S3. Doesn't do enough damage to actually break the barrier, which is great. Especially on the Rowana. I didn't want any of my units to get hit out of stealth. There you go. Ron is dead, and we're looking pretty good. Let's go ahead and let's S3. Mostly so we can replenish that barrier on our units, so that we don't get hit out of stealth by the Senya's incoming S3, which she is doing right now. I don't need the revive buff, but we're doing it for the barrier. Yeah, see, there we go. Everyone's able to stay in stealth, which means that Arya is now still the only viable target, and we're just banking on Arya's extra damage with that Fairy Tale for a Nightmare to do most of the heavy lifting, because Arya herself is not a damage build, right? She has really little crit damage, about 180 something percent. But as you can see, still doing about 3,000 damage per hit, which is countering, which is kind of good. Let's go for the Lilius, because I don't want the reflect damage from Senya to actually hit me here. Yeah, so there you go, look at that. The Fairy Tale for a Nightmare is going to be finishing off the opponent pretty quickly. There you go. Extra hit here, boom, and then in comes the S2, and down goes Senya. So even a low damage Arya, as long as you have Fairy Tale for a Nightmare, which I know is a limited artifact, but if you have it, it makes Arya an absolute beast, and it allows her to fight Genoas as well. So pretty decent to have, except effect res Genoas, which it seems like most players are actually going down the route of building. This team is actually not that slow, so you see this Genoa, my Ida is about 229 speed, I think it was exactly, so this Genoa is maybe like 230, or something like that, 232, in that range. But let's go ahead and soul burn here, so we can push up with the Ida. She gains 20% combat readiness, so as you can see, she pushes herself up, and her speed was actually just enough that she just cuts right after ML Luna. So we're gonna go ahead and soul burn the S2. Everyone is sealed, everyone's unbuffable, so we're looking great here. Genoa can't proc. Ooh, there is a counter though. Celestine, I don't like that. Extra little push, got the bombs on. Ooh, that's good. I didn't want the bombs on the Genoa, so this is nice. The bombs on ML Haste and the ML Senya mean that we get to stop them from taking their first turn. So you can't resist the detonation of a bomb. Oh, actually, Ida just did it anyway. That's fine. Let's go ahead and kill. Let's go ahead and kill Blood Moon Haste. Yeah. So we'll just soul burn for the extra bomb here, because when we detonate, it will be extra damage. My Caesarea here is actually built on damage, so almost 5,000 attack, right? So she's going to deal quite a bit with this. Yeah, look at that, 12,000 damage there. Pretty good. And now New Moon Luna can just S2 here. The splash damage will actually come in and kill the Blood Moon Haste. So this team is typically too tanky for me to full cleave, at least with this Caesarea. But you have a bit of control, which actually fits my style a bit better. I'm secretly, as you guys know, I'm secretly a control player, pretending to be a standard player in RTA. But yeah, there you guys have it. Little Ida, Caesarea cleave. Haven't used those two in a while, so I'm really glad I got to re-gear the Ida and take her out for another spin. Alright guys, so jumping into the third and final match of this guild war, gonna be going against the bottom tower, which again is proving to be, proving to be a little bit of a challenge, especially that second team here. So I'm hopefully gonna be able to do this. I'm bringing in something that I normally don't bring. Honestly, for the bottom team, ML Luna is very strong there, but we've already used her into ML Senya and Genoa, so I want to try her into other teams. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring in our ML Luna into this ML Luna, Celine, and Abyssal Euphine. Now, typically Celine on the slower end, 200 to 220 speed is about normal. Abyssal Euphine's also relatively slow because she's usually on lifesteal set. There's no speed Euphines out there, and for good reason. So I'm still going to bring in my Ida. I think she is going to be quite nice here for some extra damage. I know she's not great into Celine because of the elemental disadvantage here, but that's also why I brought Leica. Leica should be able to kill the Celine just without even me focusing her with a target debuff. We should be able to do it. But 270 speed on the Leica here shouldn't be all that bad. None of my units here have passives or non-attack skills. Well, Leica does, but ML Luna's going to seal the Celine, so we're not going to worry too much about that. Leica's S2 is a target debuff, and then whoever has a target debuff, she penetrates the defense of. So we're going to probably use that on the Abyssal Euphine here, but hopefully collateral damage will also take out the Celine. We'll see how it goes. The opponent's Luna is probably going to outspeed us, but unbuffable and sealed doesn't really matter for my entire team. Leica doesn't get the attack buff, which is actually a little bit notable, but I don't think that's really going to hold us back all too much. We'll see. Maybe I'm going to be throwing with this. I don't know. But I do know that you guys want to see ML Leica in action. Here we have ML Senya, ML Politis, and Genoa. Again, I typically bring Luna into this type of team, but I decided let's try something different. We're going to bring in Peyra, because Peyra is my fastest unit. She's also going to be able to put the unbuffable on my opponent's units, so that's going to be quite nice. So it prevents the Genoa from moving, and the restrict debuff is also going to be okay for like potential CR pushing that might happen. But it's not going to happen because Knockwall here is actually going to seal with her S2, and she can also bind with her S3. Bind actually makes it so that Genoa can't proc when I get him below half health, which is kind of cool, and Seal will prevent the ML Senya from proccing when I get that Genoa below half health, which is also kind of cool. Cecilia is going to stay the same as usual, so here she is in all her glory. No, Team Imprints actually attack, I don't want that. But Cecilia is going to be our main damage dealer, 200 effectiveness, 4800 attack, she should be alright. We'll see how it goes, but I don't have super high hopes, I just hope that I don't throw this Guild Wars. So let's do it. Okay, so the first match here, this Luna's gonna, yeah, my opponent's Luna, see what I mean by my Luna's relatively slow? So this guy's 22k health, but still going before me. In fact, they're 1% ahead of me, so there may be like a 290 ML Luna, 290 something ML Luna. So look at our souls that we have, it's going to be fantastic. Let's go ahead and just pop the S3 here. I just wanted to showcase her into Celine because she doesn't really care about Celine. You seal her so that she can't activate. Secret Art Storm Sword does get to push up though, careful of the artifact. I saw that my units were far back enough that Sword Storm won't actually cut us, but we're good. So let's go ahead and just rip the S2. Yeah, I think we just do this. We Soul Burn it for the extra turn. We do miss on the Celine, but again, it is perfectly fine. We'll go ahead and rip the S3. This will go ahead and push up my team as well. That's the one good thing about Ida, is that she doesn't care about seals, so she does work as kind of a unit to go into your opponent like this. It actually looks like... So what I'm going to end up doing is I think I'll end up trying to kill this Celine, mostly because I'm not confident that she'll kill without an attack buff. So she doesn't get an attack buff here because we're unbuffable. I just want to make sure the Celine dies, otherwise we're dead. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe it would have killed, maybe it wouldn't, but it doesn't matter. It's fine because Abyssal Euphine being sealed here makes it so that she doesn't gain Fighting Spirit when I attack her. ML Luna has already done her skill, so she's quite useless right now. So she'll be back in the end of the combat readiness bar. We're gonna let Euphine take... Ooh, Euphine didn't take her turn yet. I am not gonna kill the Euphine just yet, just in case she's in the Holy Sacrifice. I'm gonna go ahead and let her take the turn, then I'll attack. Okay, there we go. Good, good. If she was on Holy Sacrifice, she'd come back and she'd start hitting us, and I don't want that. So I want to make sure she kept her debuffs, so we killed the ML Luna first. Worked out in the end. This Politis is... Oh, wow, it's actually really fast Politis. That's a 300-something Politis. Again, quite normal, but my Politis is quite slow in comparison to this, right? Mine's like 297 or something like that, 294 in that range. So most Politises are like 310 speed, 310 speed. Quite normal to see. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and... Oh, shoot, this Genoa didn't get debuffed. That's not good. Hopefully the knock wall will be able to do something about it. Caesarea gets to push up. Sorry, Caesarea already pushed up. Uh-oh, are we not fast enough for this? Oh well, we can at least reset here. We didn't get the unbuffable on the Politis either, and now this is kind of bad because I need the bind. There we go, I got the bind, and... Did I get the reset on Politis? I did, so she's only going to S1, which is very nice. Genoa can't proc anything. I'm going to go ahead and hit... Ooh, that's... That 15% on the Senya is huge. I also do lose the attack buff on Caesarea, so that is not good. Okay, so did we also... Wait a minute. Did Caesarea proc her S2? She did. Did she not land any bombs? Probably not. Maybe one tried to land on Genoa and the other got resisted? Oh no. Oh, no, no, no. We're gonna have to go for this. I think we've pretty much lost this here. Genoa's gonna go... I'm probably gonna have to go for... Uh-oh. No, guys, I think we lost this one. I don't think... Oh, man, Para really needed to strip at the start there, and we just didn't do it. We weren't able to do it. My Para is lacking effectiveness because, again, my gear is not that great for speed debuffers. Ooh, this is not good. The problem is if I S3, I think I have too much damage. I actually proc the Senya, because we didn't seal her. If we sealed her, it would have been fine. Otherwise, if we hit the Genoa below half, before the detonation happens, Senya actually cleanses. So we can't do that. We just have to S1 here. That is such a shame. That is such a shame. Because Genoa should be able to kill. Oh, actually, he doesn't kill. We have a chance. We have a chance. Politis can S3, though. And I don't like that. Genoa will be able to... Genoa will be able to S1. Okay, so we can stun... I don't know who I stun, honestly. Let's go for the Genoa here. Oh, that was super close. That would have been super bad if we accidentally proc that. I wasn't expecting that to happen. Okay, that was definitely a misplay. Not that we got punished for it, but that was definitely a misplay. We can go for... Senya's gonna get bombed here. She's gonna get stunned. Okay, so I think what we have to do... And that's really unfortunate that we have to do this. Oh wait, no, she can't... No, she's gonna cleanse, because her cleanse is innate. Oh, that's really bad. I can kill the Genoa with the S3, but Senya's gonna slap us with an S3 herself. Because if I don't S3 and kill Genoa, then Politis is gonna go. I think I just screwed myself with this team comp. But it's alright. Who knew that this last match would be so difficult? But yeah, see, she does cleanse, so we can't detonate those bombs or anything. I don't think there's anything we can do, because if I didn't do anything here, I think we would have been screwed anyway. Right? I think we would have been screwed anyway. Maybe not. Ooh, I don't know. I really don't know. It's hard to say. Also, now she has the Oath of Punishment, so I can't debuff her at all. That kind of sucks. That really sucks. Yeah, I think I just lost this, so unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Para's at least taking the brunt of these hits here, which is not terrible. Let's see if we can hopefully do this. I mean, we can now control the team. I'm gonna stay hopeful here. Perhaps. God, I just can't believe we couldn't seal. That seal would have been insane. It would have been so important for us. But, yeah. That's why ML Luna is very consistent. You can just ignore res and do all those shenanigans. Get that full team seal here. Okay, get all those debuffs. Let's go ahead and stun the Senya. Very good. Knockwall gets to go. Let's push back. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. This is not good. Not good at all. Let's go for an S3, because Knockwall's currently stealth. So I might have to just fast forward this for you guys so you're not bored to death. Oh, shoot. Wait, no, we're both stealth. Oh, that's not good. I think we're screwed. I think we're dead. This Politis does have an S3 up. That is not great. Not great. Alright guys, so unfortunately, at this point, lost my Knockwall. Really can't do much. It's unfortunate we got 15% at the start, but that is why consistency really does matter with some of your teams. If there is a high-risk team, I'd highly recommend against it in Guild Wars, like this one that I did, kind of for the fun of it. But unfortunately, alas, we always have to have that one loss in Guild Wars. But that's quite alright, because we are paying our tax to hopefully get some good summons later down the line. With that being said though guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.